of African leaders are expected. That will include many we think of as authoritarians. Civil society leaders in Africa are less than pleased with the guest list. To find out why, we reached out to Ugandan opposition activist Daniel Kauma. He's in Washington attending an alternative conference on the sidelines of the U.S.-Africa Leaders Summit. This is a big conference, Daniel, with a long guest list. It includes the African Union's head, leaders of oil giants from Nigeria and Angola, Kenya's new president. If the point of the meeting is to deepen the U.S.-Africa partnership, it would seem to make sense to sit down with Africa's most powerful leaders, don't you think?
Well, that's how it's being framed. But I believe inviting some of these leaders sends a bad message, not only to the United States, but also to the folks who are fighting for human rights and civil liberties, as well as democracy across Africa.
Well, there were leaders from 5 nations who were not invited. That includes Sudan, Burkina Faso, Mali, Eritrea, and Guinea, all excluded because the African Union has suspended them over unconstitutional changes of government. So it seems Washington made some discriminating choices about whom to invite, don't you think?
The nations which were not invited were suspended by the AU because of the recent military coups. But outside of those, you could list a number of others who are also involved in conflicts and crimes against humanity. If you look at what's going on in Sierra Leone, if you look at what's going on in Egypt with President Sisi, if you look at the new president of Kenya, Ruto, there's charges at the ICC. If you look at what's going on in Zimbabwe, we are having violent crackdowns. If you look at what's going on in Chad, if you look at my own country, Uganda, we have a president who has been in power since 1986, in power for 36 years, and he's also invited. Ugandans are being killed on the streets during political campaign and elections. So if you look at the invitation list at this summit, it's not a list which shows you that the United States is showing commitment towards human rights. I believe they are prioritizing their business interests, and I believe they are trying to confront the growing influence of China and Russia in Africa. You're putting more money in the pockets of these dictators. You're putting more money in the pockets of Museveni so that in addition to the 37 years, he rules for 50 years. That's what he's here to do. He's here to get more investments. He's here to get more trade.
Daniel, let's talk about China, the continent's biggest trading partner, something that the U.S. has been watching closely but kind of struggling to counter in a meaningful way. Can this summit do anything to challenge Beijing's economic muscle in Africa?
China gives African leaders a blank check. Anything they want, whether you're killing civilians, whether you have free and fair elections in the country. That's why most of the African leaders have been running to China lately, because China is willing to fund a lot of projects in Africa. We have seen Uganda also get a lot of loans from China without any conditions. And I think that's why it's going to be very challenging for United States to match what China is doing, unless they're also going to put human rights, democracy, and individual liberties on the sidelines.
So there is China, there's also Russia, there are smaller powers like Turkey and the United Arab Emirates really stepping up their engagement with the African continent. But as you say, fostering democracy and human rights, not really priorities for those countries. What is the U.S. doing to advance a democratic agenda across the continent?
Recently, the U.S. launched a new policy towards sub-Saharan Africa, and that policy included fostering open society. They were talking about issues like accountability, rule of law, justice and dignity. They are talking about engaging more of civil society and making sure they fund non-profit organizations. So the United States has really done well in terms of providing funds to address some of those initiatives. Particularly, I can speak of my country, Uganda. They donated vaccines. They did donate COVID relief funds, but most of that money ended up in the wrong hands. Especially in the recent election, most of the COVID funds ended up funding the presidential election. So now the United States is talking about targeting funds instead of giving them to the government directly, but giving money to non-profits, giving them as well to civil society.
Sometimes, as I'm sure you know, Daniel, these summits turn into kind of neo-colonial lectures where Western diplomats pontificate on the values of democracy, but not much is accomplished to advance democracy. Will that be the case here with the U.S.-Africa Leaders Summit?
For me, bilateral discussions can have more of an impact. Instead of sitting in a room of 49 African head of states, President Biden will probably give a nice speech, but you don't get to engage directly and say, Mr. Museveni, you're abducting Ugandan civilians. 17 were abducted last week. You have a problem in your country. Engaging the leaders directly one-on-one, I think, would have a better impact than having 49 of them in one room and making a speech. You are unlikely to have any effect on terms of their democracy, human rights in their countries. But as far as lecturing, yes, I believe personally that African problems will eventually be resolved by Africans themselves, but we are a connected world right now. We live in a global society. Our economies are connected. COVID has taught us that if COVID is in Europe, someone can get on a plane and transport it to another country. So we can no longer look at the world as a colonial relationship. We are already an interconnected world. So it's a matter of finding the balance with those relationships. And from our perspective, as human rights advocates in Africa, if the West can stand out of the way in certain areas, instead of funding these dictators and allowing them to sustain their regimes for decade after decade, if they can find the right balance and support civil society and support women education, women empowerment, women emancipation, enlightening people about democracy, rule of law, if they can spend that money building the core of African society, I believe the people will liberate themselves. That, I think, will be a better strategy towards Africa than what they are doing right now.
Daniel Kauma is a leader in the Ugandan opposition party known as the National Unity Platform, discussing with us this week's U.S.-Africa Leaders Summit. He joined us from Washington, where he works with Ugandans and the diaspora. Daniel, thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me today.
All right, that was the Daniel Kauma. Daniel Kauma is the NUP coordinator or leader for the United States of America. You remember very well the president, that's Bobby Wine, recently unveiled the new leadership in the diaspora. Different countries having their own leaders: Europe, America, US, UK, and the rest. Anyway, coming back to what's currently happening. This is currently happening in the United States of America. I remember the US African Summit is going on, and it's going to take 3 days. But Uganda is amidst the threats from the Ugandan Parliament. Uganda government. Remember today, Uganda government came out and warned Ugandans residing in the diaspora, specifically those in Washington DC, those in the United States, who actually are currently doing exactly what the Uganda government, did not want them to do. It warned them against protesting Museveni's presidency at the United States African Summit, which is currently going on. Remember, Museveni was invited, and Museveni is currently in the US. But hey, mwena mukimanyi bulungi kiki Museveni kyakoze ensi yaffe no Uganda. So baganda baffe ekigenda maaso kyekino basazeewo baraisinga amaloboozi bo bali wali ku ground n'abavudde mu nsi ez'enjawulo okwetooloola US bazze mu bungi, abaana bazze mu bungi, era banange tubebaza bona abasobodde okubeera nga bagenda e Washington DC. Wetwogera kati kusaawa eno bagenda ku conference center, era nga live stream eno egenda kubeerako paka demonstrations zino ezinagwa. Tuli ku pages zaffe zonna bwemuzimanyi. I'm very sure you are watching this live stream from different platforms. Keep sharing this message. The most important of all is to let the world know what is currently going on in our country, Uganda. Quote us right. Abantu abasinga bagamba nti yes, abazungu tebagenda tuyamba. Yes, abazungu tebagenda tuyamba. Naye balekerawo ate okuyamba dictator Museveni. Era message y'abaganda baffe ono gye bakaringa, mulekeraawo collaborating ne ba dictators mu Africa. Balekeraawo okufundinga ba dictators, because currently tewandisuubidde United States kuyita Museveni naye olw'ensonga nti there is too much influence of Russia and China on the African continent. Balabanga boba balisemabega. So they rather put their interests above human rights violations, above democracy, above rule of law, to the point in Tibasola collaborating on Musajja nga Museveni. He are capturing power in the 1986, and up to date the guy is still clinging on power. So baganda for the United States bali raising up their voices, and guess what? The message is loud and clear. The message is loud and clear. Bonna abebuzabuza abagamba nti tewali kigenda maaso basharing the video eno. Wherever you're watching this live stream from, please just press on that share button. You can as well osobola okusala mu video eno obutundutundu olw'ensonga egenda kuba mpanvu. Sigenda jijjako kati. Tuli ku mikutu miyitirivu nnyo gisoba mu 5. Egenda kubeerayo, osobola gidownloadinga n'okisala mu parts gisharinge, message sharing. But above all, nawe genyini gy'oli baako nekyokola because bano bali United States wala bavudde Boston wala bavudde mu states ezenjawulo bonna basibidde Washington DC to make sure that the voice is loud and clear and they are doing it well. Kambayo ku maloboozi.
Uganda is bleeding. What do we want?
Freedom.
What do we want?
Now.
What do we want?
Freedom.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Freedom.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Freedom.
When do we want it?
Now.
When the struggle is over.
We shall reign on victors.
Joe Biden administration to stop funding the dictator of Uganda. Museveni is a killer. Museveni is a thief. Museveni is a killer. He has been a dictator for 37 years. We are calling upon the United States citizens to reject Joe Biden for inviting the Museveni regime to the White House. No to Joe Biden. No to Museveni. Museveni is a killer. Museveni is a killer.
Shame on Joe.
Shame on Joe. Shame on Joe.
Shame on Joe. Shame on Joe. Shame on Joe. Shame on Joe. Shame on Joe. Shame on Joe. Shame on Biden. 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 Shame on Joe. Shame on Joe. Shame on Biden.
Shame on Biden.
Shame on Joe.
Shame on Joe.
Shame on Biden.
Shame on Biden.
Shame on Joe.
Shame on Joe.
Shame on Biden.
Shame on Biden.
Shame on Joe.
Shame on Joe.
Shame on Biden.
Shame on Biden.
People power.
Our power.
People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
Our power.
People power.
NUP.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
NUP.
What do we want? Justice. When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice. Now.
What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
A people power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
Hey, mama. Twagala popisi fosco. Hey, mama. Twagala popisi fosco. Hey, mama. Twagala popisi fosco.
Bruno. Yes, sir. What's up, boss?
Uganda is bleeding.
Uganda is bleeding.
Where is Biden?
Where is Biden?
Uganda is bleeding.
Uganda is bleeding.
Where is Biden? Uganda is bleeding. Uganda is bleeding. Where is Biden? Where is Biden?
Uganda
is
is
bleeding.
protests look like.
Uganda is bleeding. Where is Biden?
Their own personal
Our power. Our power. People power. What do we want? Peace. What do we want? Freedom. What do we want? Freedom. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Freedom. When do we want it? Now. A people power. Our power. Our power. People power. Where is Biden?
Where is Biden?
Where is Kamala?
Where is Kamala?
Uganda is bleeding.
Uganda is bleeding.
Where is Biden?
Where is Kamala?
Where is Blinken?
Where is Blinken?
Uganda is bleeding.
Uganda is bleeding.
People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
Arrest Museveni
Now.
Arrest
Museveni now. Arrest Museveni now. Arrest Museveni now.
Arrest Museveni
Now.
Arrest Museveni now.
Stop ECOP now. Stop ECOP now. Stop ECOP now. Stop ECOP now.
People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
People power.
Our power.
Uganda is bleeding.
Uganda is bleeding.
Uganda is bleeding.
Uganda is bleeding.
Where is Biden?
Where is Biden?
Uganda is bleeding.
Uganda is bleeding.
Where is Kamala?
Where is Kamala?
Uganda is bleeding.
Uganda is bleeding.
Where is Blinken?
Where is Blinken?
Africa is bleeding.
Africa is bleeding.
Where is Biden?
Where is Biden?
Uganda is bleeding.
Uganda is bleeding.
Where is Biden?
Where is Biden?
Uganda is
People power.
What we want?
Freedom.
Freedom. What we want?
Now.
What we want?
Now.
When we want it?
Now.
What we want?
Freedom.
When we want it?
Now.
What we want?
Freedom.
When we want it?
Now.
The people power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
NUP.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
NUP.
NUP.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
NUP.
No justice.
No peace.
No
No
justice.
peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No peace.
No justice.
No justice.
No peace.
No peace.
No justice.
No
No peace.
What do we want?
Freedom.
What do we want?
Now.
What do we want?
Freedom.
What do we want?
Now.
What do we want?
Freedom.
When do we want it?
Now.
Where is Biden?
Where is Biden?
Uganda is bleeding.
Uganda is bleeding.
Where is Biden?
Where is Biden?
Uganda is bleeding.
Uganda is bleeding.
Africa is bleeding.
Africa is bleeding.
Our mothers are dying.
Our mothers are dying.
Our brothers are dying.
Our brethren are dying.
Where is Biden?
Where is Biden?
Uganda is bleeding.
Uganda is bleeding.
Where is Kamala?
Where is Kamala?
Uganda is bleeding.
Uganda is bleeding.
Where is Blinken?
Where is Blinken?
Africa is bleeding.
Africa is bleeding.
Where is Biden?
Where is Biden?
Africa is bleeding.
Africa is bleeding.
Where is Kamala?
Where is Kamala?
Ugandans are tired.
Ugandans are tired.
People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
What do we want?
Freedom.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Freedom.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want? Freedom. When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Traffic.
When do we
You
want
get
it?
stuff
Now.
in a democracy. You
Where
have
is
democracy in the country.
Africans are dying.
This is what
Africans
Biden
are dying. Where is Kamala?
left to the whole world. But yet, he welcomes a dictator who has been murdering Ugandans for over 37 years.
Uganda is bleeding.
Uganda is bleeding. We now went to the State Department.
Our mothers are dying. Our sisters are dying.
Our sisters are dying.
Our brothers are dying.
Our brothers are dying.
Where is Biden?
Where is Biden?
Uganda is bleeding.
Uganda is bleeding.
Where is Biden?
Where is Biden?
Uganda is bleeding.
Uganda is bleeding.
Where is Kamala?
Where is Kamala?
Africa is bleeding.
Africa is bleeding.
Where is Blinken?
Where is Blinken?
Ugandans are tired.
Ugandans are tired.
Where is Biden?
Where is Biden?
Ugandans are tired.
Ugandans are tired.
Where is Blinken?
Where is Blinken?
Uganda is bleeding.
Uganda is bleeding.
Where is Kamala?
Where is Kamala?
Uganda is bleeding.
Uganda is bleeding.
Where is Blinken?
Where is Blinken?
Uganda is bleeding.
Uganda is bleeding.
Where is Blinken?
Where is Blinken?
Uganda is bleeding.
Uganda is bleeding.
What do we want?
Freedom.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Freedom.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Freedom.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Freedom.
When do we want it?
Now.
The people power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
Arrest Museveni.
Now.
Arrest Museveni.
Now.
Arrest Museveni.
Now.
Arrest Museveni.
Now.
Arrest Museveni.
Now. Now. Now.
People power.
Our power.
People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
Where is Biden?
Where is Biden?
Uganda is bleeding.
Uganda is bleeding.
Where is Biden?
Where is Biden?
Uganda is bleeding.
Uganda is bleeding.
Where is Kamala?
Where is Kamala?
Uganda is bleeding.
Uganda is bleeding.
Where is Blinken?
Where is Blinken? Freedom.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Freedom.
When do we want it? Now. When the struggle is over.
We shall ride our victor's crown. And as you guys believe it or not,
When the struggle is over.
the man himself, Ashraf Miracle in the flesh, in the streets of Washington, D.C. God is good. God is good. Miracle who welcome you to America.
Uganda is bleeding. Uganda is bleeding. Uganda is bleeding. Uganda is bleeding. We want freedom. We want freedom. Free Uganda. Free Uganda.
Again, I cannot stress it enough.
Free Uganda. Free
You're not free.
Free Uganda. Free
A country where you're allowed to free demonstrate,
Free
and
Uganda.
you're free
Free
to
Uganda.
protest. You're allowed to have even officers escort you to your destination. We just came from the White House, and we have our own personal traffic police officers that will escort us.
No peace. No justice. No peace. No peace. No justice. No justice. No peace. No peace. No justice. No justice. No peace. Arrest Nabanja.
Arrest Nabanja.
Arrest Muwonge.
Arrest Muwonge.
Arrest Kennedy.
Now.
Arrest Muwonge.
Now.
Arrest Patience.
Now.
Arrest Natasha.
Now.
Arrest Natasha. Now. Arrest Otafire.
Now.
Arrest Otafire. Now. Arrest Duwine.
Now.
People power. People power. People power.
You ain't get too late for that.
People power.
You're too late, sir.
When do we want it? Now. What do we want? When do we want it?
Now.
Shame on Biden.
Shame on Biden.
Shame on Biden.
Shame on Biden.
Where is Biden? Where is Biden? Where is Biden? Where is Biden? Where is Blinken? Where is Blinken? Where is Blinken? Where is Blinken? Shame on Biden. Shame on Biden. Shame on Biden. Shame on Biden. What do we want?
Freedom.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Freedom.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want? Freedom. When do we want it? Now. People power. Our power. People power. Our power. People power. Our power. Our power. People power.
That's our new democracy.
Everywhere. Everywhere. NUP. NUP. Everywhere. Everywhere. NUP. Viva Boston. Viva. Viva. Viva New York. Viva. Viva. Viva DMV. Viva. Viva. Viva California. Viva. Viva. Viva Chicago. Viva. Viva. Viva Seattle. Viva. Viva. What do we want?
Freedom.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Freedom.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Freedom.
When do we want it?
Now.
People power. People power. People power. Our power.
U.S. stop sponsoring Museveni.
Uganda's bleeding, U.S. is sponsoring. Uganda's bleeding,
Uganda is bleeding.
Uganda's bleeding,
U.S. sponsoring.
Uganda's bleeding,
U.S. is sponsoring.
Uganda is bleeding.
U.S. is sponsoring.
Uganda is bleeding.
U.S. is sponsoring.
Uganda's bleeding,
U.S. is sponsoring.
Uganda is bleeding,
U.S. is sponsoring.
Ugandan lives are being killed.
Uganda is bleeding.
U.S.
Uganda is bleeding. Uganda is bleeding. Prisoners in Uganda. Free political prisoners in Uganda. Museveni is a murderer. Uganda is bleeding.
Uganda is bleeding.
Murderer.
Stop inviting dictators.
Arrest Museveni.
Use the sidewalk.
Arrest Museveni.
Now.
All right.
Arrest Museveni.
Now.
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 Arrest
This is the State Department. As you can see, this is why every window you see there, somebody has a seat in there. And that's what we're going to go to see. Today's Tuesday. So that means they're all here. And it's before lunchtime. So that means whatever noise we make, they should be able to hear us. I want to welcome everyone to JB and all our pages, Spiderweb worldwide.
NUP! Now! Arrest Museveni! Now! Arrest Museveni! Now! Arrest Museveni! Now! No peace! No justice! No peace! No peace! No justice! No justice! No peace!
Oh, he told me in the front.
No justice! No justice! No peace! No peace! No justice! Where's Blinken? Where's Blinken? Where's Blinken?
Where is Blinken?
Where's Blinken?
Where is Blinken? Where
Where's Biden?
is Biden?
Where's Biden?
Where is Biden?
Ugandans are dying. Ugandans are bleeding. Ugandans are dying. Where's Biden? Where is Biden?
Museveni, we are coming for you. You can't hide anymore. You say Uganda is so safe, so you need to stay in Uganda. Where you murder innocent Ugandans daily.
Uganda is bleeding.
Your drunken son.
Where is Cameron?
Uganda is bleeding.
Uganda
That
is
noise
bleeding.
to the United States.
Uganda is bleeding.
Make sure you don't leave here
Where is
the way you
Biden?
came.
Uganda is bleeding.
Uganda is bleeding.
Where is Blinken?
Where is Blinken?
Uganda is bleeding.
Uganda is bleeding.
Where is Blinken?
Where is Blinken?
Uganda is bleeding.
Uganda is bleeding.
Where is Blinken? Where is Blinken? Uganda is bleeding.
Uganda is bleeding.
Where is Biden?
Where is Biden?
Arrest Museveni.
Arrest Museveni.
Arrest Museveni.
Arrest Museveni.
Arrest Museveni.
Arrest Museveni.
Arrest Museveni. Arrest Museveni.
Now.
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 Arrest Museveni.
Uganda is bleeding, US is funding. 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 Where is Blinken?
Where is Blinken?
Where is Blinken?
Where is Blinken?
Uganda is bleeding.
Uganda is bleeding.
Where is Blinken?
Where is Blinken?
Uganda is bleeding.
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 US is funding.
Uganda is funding.
Uganda is bleeding.
Uganda is bleeding.
US is funding.
U.S. is funding.
Uganda is bleeding.
Uganda is bleeding.
US is funding.
US is funding.
Where is Biden?
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 Uganda is bleeding.
Uganda is bleeding.
Arrest Museveni. Arrest Museveni. Arrest Museveni.
Now. Arrest Museveni now. Arrest Museveni now. Don't listen to him. Arrest Museveni now. Arrest Museveni now. Arrest Museveni now.
Arrest Museveni now.
JK. JK. We gotta go behind there.
Arrest Museveni now.
Arrest Museveni now. Arrest Museveni now. Arrest Museveni now.
Let's go behind
Arrest Museveni now. 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 Arrest
You an apartment?
Danny!
Where's Danny? Danny. Danny. Danny.
Oh, let's go! Here, guys, just move back on this side for me.
We got it.
Just move back on this side for me. You okay, sir?
Okay, we got everyone behind us.
Where is Blinken? Where is Blinken? Where is Blinken? Uganda is bleeding. Where is Blinken?
Yeah.
Uganda is bleeding. Where is Blinken?
Yeah.
Uganda is bleeding.
Everyone else.
Where is
Everyone else.
Biden?
We do this too right here. I mean,
Where is Biden?
Where is Biden?
we got it. Okay. Everyone else, let's go behind
For
them.
the people that have been killed by Museveni's regime, we have a picture display here. These people have been killed by the regime in Uganda. Our people have been killed by the Museveni regime. And the people that are funding that is the U.S. taxpayer. We are calling upon the United States to stop funding the regime in Uganda.
U.S. is funding. Uganda's marcher! Uganda's marcher! Uganda's marcher! Uganda's marcher! Uganda's marcher! Uganda's marcher! Uganda's marcher!
This is what they start usually. They will record us. We're not going over them, but these people that they can see us better.
No, I still need them over the other side.
Yeah, they'll see us better when they start.
We are fighting for freedom. We are fighting for freedom.
We're fighting for freedom.
Just two of us. Just the two of us. Yeah, is that all right?
They're just staying here. We are fighting for freedom.
Why are you here? Why are you here?
We are fighting for freedom.
Freedom where?
We are fighting for freedom.
We are fighting for freedom. Uganda is bleeding.
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 U.S. is funding. Uganda is bleeding. U.S. is funding. Uganda is bleeding. U.S. is funding. Uganda is bleeding. U.S. is funding. U.S. is funding.
Hey, boss.
U.S. is funding. Uganda is bleeding. U.S. is funding. Uganda is bleeding. U.S. is funding. Uganda is bleeding. 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 U.S. is funding.
Can you allow a listening?
U.S. is funding. U.S. is funding. Uganda is bleeding. U.S. is funding. Uganda is bleeding. 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 All right, now I want us to have a few words from our leader, Dr. Kauma, and of course one of our representatives, Hillary. Dr. Kauma.
Hey, let him go first, Carl. You got it.
All right. Taylor, come. Hillary. Come and
Hey, what's up? You can't lock me in here.
come and speak my word. Why are you here? Why are you here? Uganda is bleeding. Uganda is bleeding.
Uganda is bleeding.
Muwonge. Why are you here? Uganda is bleeding. 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 U.S. is funding. Uganda is bleeding. Uganda is bleeding. U.S. is funding. U.S. is funding. Uganda is bleeding. U.S. is funding. Uganda is bleeding. Uganda is bleeding. U.S. is funding. Uganda is bleeding. Uganda is bleeding. U.S. is funding. Okay, let's have our sister talk to us.
Arrest Museveni.
All right. People power.
This morning we are gathered here at the State Department to express our feelings towards the dictator Museveni's regime, which has been in power for 37 years. These people are partners also in abduction of human beings in Uganda. US is partnering with General Museveni to abduct Ugandans. US is partnering with General Museveni to kill Ugandans. US is partnering with General Museveni to steal elections. US is a democratic country. Why are they inviting a dictator who has been in power for 37 years? Museveni came to power when Ronald Reagan was the president. Shame! After 37 years, President Biden has the guts to invite him to the White House. Shame! How do you dine with a dictator? Shame! A renowned dictator. Shame! In Africa. Shame! Ugandans, stand up. Shame! This is a time that we have to fight. Shame! We have to speak to power, or we shall die like cockroaches. We have to speak to power, or we shall die like fools. We have to stand up. We have to die standing, not to die kneeling. We must die standing, not die kneeling. Ugandans, this is a message that should go to Anthony Blinken. This is a message to Anthony Blinken. Think about the humans in Uganda. Think about the people in Uganda. Before you issue billions of dollars to Museveni, think about humanity. Think about the murders that Museveni has committed. Who killed Kawesi? Museveni. Who killed Kagezi? Museveni. Who killed Chirumira? Museveni. Who killed Kawesi? Museveni. Who killed Kagezi? Museveni. Who killed Chirumira? Museveni. Who killed Musata? Museveni. Who killed Musata? Museveni. Who killed Musata? Who killed Chirumira? Who killed Musata? Who killed Musata?
Yasin Kauma. Frank Centers.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've had the President Hillary Clinton. He was in power when Museveni is the president. We've had Ronald Reagan when Museveni is in power. We've had Hillary Clinton when Museveni is in power. We've had Bill Clinton when Museveni is in power. We've had Bush Sr. when Museveni is in power. We've had Bush Jr. when Museveni is in power. We've had Biden. We've had Obama when Museveni is in power. We're having Biden right now. Museveni is in power. We've had Trump. We've had Trump. Museveni is in power. We've had Biden. Museveni is in power. People dying. How many more should die? How many more should die?
No more.
For the US to listen.
No more.
How many should die?
No more.
For the US to wake up.
No more.
Stop funding Museveni.
Stop funding Museveni.
Stop funding Museveni.
Stop funding Museveni.
Think about Ugandans.
Think about Uganda.
Human rights in Ugandans don't matter.
Stop funding Museveni.
Human rights in Uganda doesn't matter.
Stop funding Museveni.
Human rights in Uganda doesn't matter.
Stop funding Museveni.
Why are you dealing with the despot?
Stop funding Museveni.
Why are you dealing with the terrorist?
Stop funding Museveni.
Why are you dealing with the dictator?
Stop funding Museveni.
Why is Biden dining with the dictator?
Stop funding Museveni.
Why is he in the White House?
Stop funding Museveni.
Why is he in the White House?
Stop funding Museveni.
Arrest Kataha.
Stop funding Museveni.
Arrest Otapide.
Now.
Arrest Muwonge.
Now.
Arrest Muwonge.
Now.
Arrest Muwonge.
Now.
Arrest Kataha.
Now.
Arrest Muwonge.
Now.
Arrest Natasha.
Now.
Arrest Natasha.
Now.
Arrest Diana.
Now.
Arrest Patience.
Now.
Arrest Rwabogo.
Now.
Arrest Rwabogo. Arrest Rwabogo. Arrest Karugire.
Now.
Arrest Karugire.
Now.
Arrest Karugire.
Now.
Arrest Chiwanuka.
Now.
Arrest Chiwanuka.
Now.
Arrest Chiwanuka. Arrest Amongo. Arrest Amongo. Arrest Mama Mekako. Arrest Mama Mekako.
Now.
Arrest Museveni.
Now.
Arrest Museveni.
Now.
People power.
Our power.
People power.
Our power.
People power.
Our power.
Amani Galiwa.
Bantu.
Amani Galiwa.
Bantu.
Katigawulira. People power.
Our power.
People power. People
power. Our power. Our power. Our power.
People power.
Our power.
People power.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's have our leader, Dr. Kauma, address us, and then we shall have Hillary. Who is Hillary?
Where is Hillary?
People power.
People power. People power.
Our power.
People power.
Our power.
People power.
Our power.
People power.
Our power.
NUP.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
NUP.
NUP.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
NUP.
Viva Boston, viva.
Viva.
Viva New York, viva.
Viva.
Viva DMV, viva.
Viva.
Viva Uganda, viva.
Viva.
Viva Uganda, viva.
Viva.
Viva Uganda, viva.
Viva.
What do we want?
Freedom.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Freedom.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Freedom.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Freedom.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Freedom.
When do we want it?
Now.
When the struggle is
Over, we shall wear the victor's crown. We shall wear the victor's crown. We shall wear the victor's crown. When the struggle is over, we shall wear the victor's crown. In a new Uganda. People power. Our power. People power. People power. Our power. People power.
fellow Ugandans, fellow Ugandans, fellow Ugandans,
Yes, sir.
fellow Ugandans.
Yes, sir.
Today is a beautiful day, fellow Ugandans. Today is a beautiful day because all of you traveled from far away, from Boston, from New York, from Maryland, from all across America to be here today. So thank you so much for loving your country. Thank you so much for standing up for your country.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much for standing up for the values
Yes,
of
sir.
our brothers and sisters in Uganda. We are here today to fight for the values of our people. We are here today to speak for the voiceless. We are here today to speak for the 45 million Ugandans who don't have a voice, who don't have jobs, who need opportunity.
Yes, sir.
Ugandans who are like us, who just want a chance to feed their families.
Yes, sir.
Ugandans who want a chance to live. Ugandans who want a chance to vote for their leaders without being abducted. We are here to demand justice. We are here to demand peace. We are here to demand change in power in Uganda.
Yes, sir.
Because Museveni has been in power since 1986. Enough is enough.
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 We are here to tell President Biden.
Yes!
We are here to tell VP Kamala Harris.
Yes!
We are here to tell Secretary Blinken
Go on!
that Africa has 49 dictators that were invited at this summit.
Yes!
We don't want dictators in the United States. This is the land of the free. This is the land of the shining city on the hill. We do not want dictators dining on the shining city on the hill. We do not want Uganda under President Museveni dining on the shining city on the hill.
Yes!
We want freedom. We want individual liberties for Uganda. We want justice for Ugandans. We are here today to make two demands. One of the demands we want is to return all Ugandans that have been abducted. We want every Ugandan that has been abducted by the Museveni regime to be freed immediately. We want individual liberties for all Ugandans. We want freedom of speech for all Ugandans. We want freedom of expression for all Ugandans. We want every Ugandan to have a right to protest. We have every Ugandan to have a right to organize. We have our politicians in the opposition to have a right to mobilize their members, to have a right to live, to have a right to make a living. And we want NRM to stop harassing our leader, Honorable Sentam Chamburani. Fellow Ugandans, we are here today because we want change in Uganda. We are here today because we want a new Uganda. We are here today because the only person who is going to deliver a new Uganda is the National Unity Platform. We are here today to stand up for our people. We are here to demand justice. We are here to demand
equality under the law.
Yeah.
Freedom of speech.
Yeah.
Freedom of expression.
Yeah.
Where is Biden? Where is Biden?
Where is Biden?
Where is Biden?
Where is Biden?
Where is Blinken?
Where is Biden?
Where is Blinken?
Where is Blinken?
Where is Biden?
Where is Biden?
Where is Blinken?
Where is Blinken?
Where is Biden?
Where is Biden?
Where is Blinken?
Where is Blinken?
Where is Biden?
Where is Biden?
Where is Blinken?
Where is Blinken?
Chairman Biden.
Chairman Biden.
Chairman Biden.
Chairman Biden.
Chairman
Chairman
Biden.
Biden.
Uganda is bleeding.
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 Chairman Biden.
Chairman Biden.
Uganda is bleeding.
Uganda is bleeding.
Where is Biden?
Where is Biden?
Where is Kamala?
Where is Kamala?
Where is Blinken?
Where is Blinken?
Uganda is bleeding.
Uganda is bleeding.
People power.
Our power.
People power.
Our power.
People power.
Our power.
People power.
Our power.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
When you please. Everywhere. When you please. Where is Biden?
People power. Ladies and gentlemen. People power. Ladies and gentlemen. People power. Our power. Ladies and gentlemen. Today we are also joined by our African brothers and sisters from Ethiopia, from the Oromo tribe. Free Oromo people! 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 We are also joined by our sister from Iran. Free Iranians! Free Iranians! Free Iranians! Free Iranians! Free Iranians! Free Iranians! Human rights matters! Free Iranians! Free Iranians! Free Iranians! Free Iranians! Free Oromo! Free Oromo! Free Oromo! Free Oromo! Free Iranians! Free Iranians! Free Oromo! Free Oromo! Free Oromo! Free Oromo! Free Uganda! Free Uganda! Free Uganda! Free Uganda! People power! People power! Our power! People power! Our power!
Brother Festi.
Yes, comrades! Good morning, comrades! Good morning, comrades! Viva, comrades! Viva! Viva! Viva, comrades! Viva! Viva, comrades! Viva! People power! Our power! People power! People power! Our power! People power! Now, comrades! Yes! Tonight, we are here. Yes! To show our dissatisfaction. Yes! With this administration of Joseph Biden.
Yes.
We are now knowing it very loud and clear.
Yes.
That President Joe Biden
Yes.
is a hypocrite.
Yes.
Yeah! Yeah!
Say it again.
For democracy.
Yes.
But when you're dining with dictators,
Yes.
sir. We know that Paul Kagame is here.
Yes.
He's a dictator.
Yeah.
We know that Ahmed Beer,
Yes.
Ahmed, the one of Ethiopia,
Yes.
yes, sir, is a dictator.
Yes.
We know that Bobby in Cameroon,
Yes.
is a dictator.
Yeah.
We know that Kaka
Yes.
is a dictator.
Yes.
So as concerned Africans,
Obiang of Guinea.
we have to rise up
Yes.
against these dictators.
Yes, sir.
We cannot rely on America anymore.
Yeah.
It's not our ally.
Yes.
We're only interested in our resources.
Yes.
Not liberty. America has to be brought to accountability.
Yes.
All the lives we've lost in Africa, it is America to blame.
Yes.
They have shed blood.
Yes.
So we have to make loud and clear that President Biden has blood on his hands. Lincoln has blood on his hands. Kamala Harris has blood on her hands. So these are hypocrites. As Africans, we have to unite against the enemies of Africa. Africa deserves liberty.
Africa deserves freedom.
Yes.
Africa deserves justice.
Yes.
Our comrades in Ethiopia,
Yes.
they are suffering
Yes.
because of Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed.
Yes.
He has massacred Ethiopians.
Yes.
That has to stop.
Yes.
Museveni
Yes.
oppressing Ugandans every day.
Yes.
Museveni is oppressing Ugandans. Museveni is oppressing us. And all is done on the watch of America.
Yes.
That has to stop.
Yes.
Enough is enough. Enough is enough. This thing is low. Let me get a louder one.
We want freedom.
Preach, 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 brother, preach. Now, comrades, preach. Am I loud and clear?
Yes, sir.
Now, as comrade has told you, when Museveni came to power in '86, America had Ronald Reagan. So, from 1986,
Yeah.
as we speak today, America has had 7 presidents.
Yes, sir.
And Uganda is stuck in one dictator.
Can you imagine? Shame.
America is calling us democracy. But democracy for now.
Tyranny.
So, we should not have too much less of violence in Uganda.
Yes, sir.
Museveni has to go.
Yes, sir.
Museveni has to go.
US is funding.
Uganda is bleeding.
US is funding.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
Free Uganda.
Free Uganda.
Free Uganda.
Free Uganda.
Stop being hypocrites, please. Stop funding genocide in Uganda.
Yes, sir.
Tonight, we are here. Yes. To show our dissatisfaction. Yes. With this administration of Joseph Biden. Yes. We are now knowing it very loud and clear. Yes. That President Joe Biden. Yes. Is a hypocrite. Yes.
Yeah! Yeah! Say it again.
For democracy. Yes. But when you're dining with dictators.
Yes, sir.
We know that Paul Kagame is here.
Yes.
He's a dictator.
Yeah.
We know that Ahmed Beer.
Yes.
Ahmed, the one of Ethiopia.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Is a dictator. Yes. We know that Bobby in Cameroon.
Yes.
Is a dictator.
Yeah.
We know that Kaka.
Yes.
Is a dictator. Yes. So as
Obiang.
concerned Africans,
Obiang of Guinea.
we have to rise up against these dictators.
Yes, sir.
We cannot rely on America anymore.
Yeah.
It's not our ally.
Yeah.
They're only interested in our resources.
Yes.
Not our
Yeah.
liberty.
Yes.
America has to be brought to accountability.
Yes.
All the lives we've lost in Africa, it is America to blame.
Yes.
They have shed blood.
Yes.
So we have to make loud and clear that President Biden has blood on his hands.
Yes.
Lincoln has blood on his hands.
Yes.
Kamala Harris has blood on her hands. So these are hypocrites. As Africans, we have to unite
Yes.
against the enemies of Africa. Africa deserves liberty. Africa deserves freedom. Africa deserves justice. Our comrades in Ethiopia, they are suffering because of Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed. He has massacred Ethiopians. That has to stop. Museveni suppressing Ugandans every day. Museveni is suppressing Ugandans. Museveni is suppressing us. And all is done on the watch of America. That has to stop. Enough is enough. Enough is enough.
Enough is enough.
This thing is low. Let me get a louder one.
Preach, 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 brother, preach.
Now, comrades,
Preach.
am I loud and clear?
Yes, sir.
Now, as comrade has told you, when Museveni came to power in '86, America had Ronald Reagan. So, from 1986,
Yeah.
as we speak today, America has had 7 presidents.
Yes, sir.
And Uganda is stuck in one dictator.
Can you imagine?
America
Shame.
is calling for democracy. But democracy will happen.
Irony.
So, we not have to motivate of violence in Uganda.
Yes, sir.
Museveni has to go.
Yeah.
Museveni has to go. Africans watching, as Ugandans, it is time. Go Biden. Because the great voice of America has failed. True. So America has no working foreign policy in Africa. It is time. Biden and the US to reform the foreign policy on Africa. And mainly in Uganda. Because their foreign policy is bogus. We want a working foreign policy.
Yes, sir.
A foreign policy that fights for democracy.
Blinken, do you copy?
A foreign policy that fights for human rights. A foreign policy that fights for free and fair elections. Not a policy that sustains dictatorship. The time has come to say that is enough.
Enough is enough.
People power.
People power.
Now America had Ronald Reagan. He came and left. They got George Bush Sr. He came and left. They got Bill Clinton. He came and left. They got Barack Obama. He came and left. They got Trump. He came and left. Donald Trump. He came and left. Now it's Biden. So for them, they want fundamental change. But they think as Africans,
We don't deserve.
democracy.
Sure.
That is called hypocrisy. Those are double standards. Now we all know America is a superpower. As a superpower, you have to police the world.
Yes, sir.
They have failed.
They have failed.
to perform their duty.
Failure.
That is
Failure.
So we are giving Biden's administration a B+. Because they have failed.
F9.
Foreign policy. Instead, they have a chance to improve and bring sanity to their foreign policy. We have to do the right thing. So Museveni has to go. Museveni has to go.
Museveni must 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 go.
Now it doesn't go.
Shame! Shame! Shame on Biden! Shame on Biden! Shame on Blinken! Shame on Blinken! Shame on Biden! Shame on Blinken! Shame on Biden! Shame on Blinken! Shame on Kamala! Shame on Kamala! Uganda is bleeding! 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 Uganda is bleeding!
Museveni must go.
Museveni must go! 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 The nation has had 7 different presidents. When Uganda has one president.
Yes, sir.
And the United States president continues to die.
Yes, sir.
The dictator.
Yes, sir.
Shame on Biden.
Shame on Biden.
Shame on Biden. Shame on Blinken. Shame on Biden. Shame on Blinken. I have a question for Biden. Would you rule America for 37 years?
No!
No!
Shame on Biden.
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 Museveni must go.
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 Uganda is bleeding.
Uganda is
Uganda is bleeding. Uganda is bleeding. Uganda is bleeding. Museveni is enjoying the security in America when he's killing his own citizens. Why is he enjoying the security of America? Why is he enjoying the privileges in America? Why is Uganda killing his own citizens? Museveni must be arrested. Arrest Museveni now. 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 Arrest now. Arrest now. Arrest now. Arrest Museveni 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 now. Uganda is bleeding. 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 Museveni must go. No justice. No peace. 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 Uganda is bleeding. 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 These are quite three seconds to be taken.
We are fighting for freedom.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Museveni
is president. Museveni is president. Museveni is president. Museveni is president. Museveni is president. Museveni is president. Museveni is president. Museveni is president. Museveni is president. Museveni is president. Museveni is president. Museveni is president. Museveni is president. Museveni is president. Museveni is president. Museveni is president. Museveni 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 president.
Bush Senior.
Museveni in Uganda.
Bush Senior.
Museveni is president.
Bush Junior.
Museveni president.
Bush Junior.
Museveni in Uganda.
Barack Obama.
Museveni in Uganda.
Barack Obama.
Museveni in Uganda.
Donald Trump.
Museveni in Uganda.
Donald Trump.
Museveni in Uganda.
Biden.
Museveni in Uganda.
Why the hypocrisy? Shame on Biden.
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 Shame on Blinken.
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 Donald Reagan. Donald Reagan.
Museveni is president.
Donald Reagan.
Museveni president.
Donald Reagan.
Museveni president.
Donald Reagan.
Museveni president.
Donald Reagan.
Museveni president.
Bill Clinton.
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 Museveni president.
Bush Senior.
Museveni president.
Bush Senior.
Museveni president.
Bush Senior.
Museveni president.
Bush Junior.
Museveni president.
Bush Junior.
Museveni president.
Bush Junior.
Museveni president.
Bush Junior.
Museveni president.
Barack Obama.
Museveni president.
Barack Obama.
Museveni president.
Barack Obama.
Museveni president.
Donald Trump.
Museveni president.
Donald Trump.
Museveni president.
Donald Trump.
Museveni president.
Donald Trump.
Museveni president.
Joe Biden.
Museveni president.
What a shame.
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 Arrest Museveni now! Arrest Museveni now!
What a shame.
Arrest Museveni now!
Arrest Museveni now.
Arrest
Museveni now.
Arrest Museveni now!
Arrest Museveni now. 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 I have a question now. I have a question to Biden. I have a question to Biden. I have a question to Biden. Can you rule America for 37 years? Why do you dine with Museveni, who has ruled Uganda for 37 years? Shame! 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 Shame!
Chairman Biden. Museveni must go. Museveni must go. Chairman Biden. Museveni must go. 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 No justice. No justice. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Museveni must go. Museveni must go. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No peace. No justice. No peace. Arrest Museveni now. 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 Arrest must go.
Arrest Museveni now. Arrest Museveni now. The African UN Summit is a scam. The people of the United States, the taxpayers' money is going towards the killing of the Ugandans in Africa. This African Summit is a scam. We have all the minerals in Africa. That's why Joe Biden continues to keep the dictators in power for 37 years. We have had one president for 37 years. And the United States is the one training their military. The United States is the one giving them $1 billion every year. The United States is the one sleeping in the bed with the dictator of Uganda. We are calling upon the United States taxpayers to reject the Joe Biden administration for organizing the African Summit. Because the African Summit is a scam. It's just a way for them to be able to keep Africa under arrest. This is a modern day slavery on Africa. It's a modern day slavery on the continent of Africa.
What a shame.
So it's a scam. All over Africa. You see the few fortunate ones, 10% of this food being kept in power so they can oppress the majority of Africa. The few stupid Africans come up here to kiss up to their asses so they can keep killing our people. We are calling upon the United States taxpayers to reject the Biden administration. We are calling upon the United States taxpayers. This modern day slavery must come to an end. The resources of Africa is not meant for the United States. Stop the foolish summit. Bring the dictators out. Stop the foolish summit and bring all the dictators out. Museveni is a killer. Museveni is a crook. Killing our people in Uganda.
Arrest him
We
now.
say no to Museveni's regime. We say no to Joe Biden. We say
Ladies and gentlemen,
Yes.
the United States of America condemned the election in Uganda last year. That's true. They said it was fraudulent. It was a sham. It was a scam. But why have they invited Museveni in this summit? What a shame. President Biden has built his legacy for over 50 years at Capitol Hill. Biden, why are you destroying your legacy that you've built for 40 years? Because of foreign policy. Why is the foreign policy surpassing life? Is the foreign policy supposed to surpass life? How would you feel, fellow officers in uniform? How do you feel if your children grow up in this country? Arrest Museveni now! 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 Arrest Museveni now!
Uganda.
Uganda is bleeding.
Uganda is bleeding.
Uganda is bleeding.
United States, stop being hypocrites. How can you invite the dictator who kills Ugandans every day and violate human rights in Uganda every day?
Yes,
No,
sir.
you are with him right now. No.
Yes.
Why doesn't he come here and enjoy democracy in this beautiful country and you laugh at him like that? That guy is a monster. He's a cannibal. A rapist. Arrest Museveni. Arrest Museveni. Uganda is bleeding.
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 US is bleeding.
Uganda is bleeding.
US is funding.
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 No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.